Have you ever seen a movie or live theater or a piece of art and thought, you know what would make this better? If AI created it. No? You've never had that thought? Well, apparently some people have. Whether it's the creators of Late Night with the Devil who turned thousands of people away from seeing their movie because they decided it would be a good idea to use AI images instead of just hiring an actual artist. Or it's your creepy uncle who likes to share pictures of lobster Jesus on Facebook. We've all seen AI art, and if you ask me, it's weird. Why when I Google pictures of a cat do AI images of cats come up? There are real cats. I don't need AI to tell me what a frickin' cat looks like. So why? Why on God's green earth do people think it is a good idea to mix AI and musical theater? Now, I'm not talking about just musical theater specifically. I'm also talking about musical theater related content. The floodgates are officially open and AI is now a part of musical theater. Now, you might think not professionally. Professional theater would never use AI, and that's where you would be allegedly wrong. You see, there are reports that while it was on tour, the new Wiz revival was using AI for their backgrounds. Now, of course, the production came out and said, absolutely, that's not true. We did not use AI. But if you look at the images, kind of looks like they used AI in a professional production. But you know what? I'm gonna play the TikTok that shows all of the AI images and I'll let you decide for yourself. But first, what's up? My name is Connor McDowell and I'm currently campaigning to be People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive for the year 2024. If you like this video and you think I should be nominated, just click subscribe. One subscribe is all it takes to get me on the cover of People Magazine with the words sexy across my face. That's literally all I want in life. I could do that and I'll die happy. So please subscribe. I'm also currently recovering from 2 knee surgeries and I have a GoFundMe linked in the description if you are willing to donate to help me out. If you are, that would mean the world to me. If not, that's totally fine. Do not worry. I will also be doing a 24-hour live stream on Twitch soon to raise money for that GoFundMe. So keep your eyes out for more information on that. Now it's time to start ranting a little bit. As I mentioned before, The Wiz allegedly used AI backdrops for their production. Here's a TikTok that I saw from almost a year ago about the situation.
Last night I saw a touring Broadway production of The Wiz and they used AI generated images as their backdrops, and not only is that a bad look for Broadway, it also looked bad. I found that somebody had posted the bows on TikTok and it went through each image that had been shown in the play, and this one was one of the more egregious examples. You can see it in this tree. So you see how the tree part, there's leaves there, and at the very top it kind of blurs into the mountain. And then over here on the mountain, there's these weird texture parts to the mountains. Unfortunately, there was no image of the frame around it. The frame had kind of a black line that would randomly disappear, as well as these vines that sometimes would make like loops or would curl in on each other and just looked extremely unnatural. This particular scene is when I first noticed it, because a lot of the scenes prior to this, the backdrop had sort of a fairy tale cartoon look. And then this image was very photorealistic. And there's this sort of cutout in a tree stump. And you can see there's a tree there, but then the tree doesn't continue above. Also, there was one on this side, it's blocked by the house, and there was basically what looked like a tree stump and then no tree that continued. And here we are back in Kansas, and there's these 2 sets of clouds done in like different art styles between the 2 clouds in the one same image. This image was pretty jarring because the foreground is photorealistic, but then the city in the background is kind of this cartoon style. And there was this maze, hedge maze, and the hedges changed in width very randomly. I feel like in all, this is just a very bad look for Broadway. I think musical theater is kind of the loudest about funding the arts. Funding the arts is so important. We should fund the arts, lifelong skills, blah, blah, blah. And here they are not funding an art. And I have zero confidence that the money that they, saved on these shitty backdrops was in any way put into, payment for the actors, payment for the costume designers, even funding for the costumes themselves. And it really stood out because the rest of the show was phenomenal. The actors were incredible. The choreography was great. The costumes were beautiful. And so then to have like this kind of half-assed set images really took me out. I also was then really distracted because once I realized it was AI art, I kept seeing it. I kept seeing all the little, the weird ways that AI doesn't focus right and the weird width changes, and the style kept changing for every image. I went through the program to see if they credited AI art anywhere, and I do think that they got the AI art from F&D Scene Changes Ltd. That's who's credited for scenery built and fabricated. And the reason I think that is because I went on their website and looked at design. It won't show up on mobile, so I have it on my laptop. This image showed up in their design section, and I'm not sure how well this comes across, but you can tell that it's AI art because there's like this part that looks photorealistic, this part that's got, I don't know what the fuck's going on there, this weird steam, but then this has sort of that like hand-drawn art look, this part here where it just like stops existing. I think it's a shame to see AI art in theater. I also think the fact that, you know, it's this tiny print all the way over here in credits and acknowledgements with no acknowledgement of the use of AI goes to show that, I don't know, Broadway or Nederlander productions or whoever is embarrassed by the use of AI, and I think their shame speaks for itself.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to deny that definitely does look like AI used in the backdrops. And then The Wiz went on to get nominated for 0 Tony Awards this season. I fucking wonder why. I saw this Reddit post and it immediately made me want to make this video. Sunday in the Park with George quote, "Hello Reddit, I have a friend who is a big Sondheim fan and Sunday in the Park with George fan. However, I am not too familiar with it. I'm working on a GIF for him and using ChatGPT to generate some ideas for good quotes to work with. ChatGPT gave me this one. It's a puzzle, but it's a puzzle that's made up of a lot of beautiful pieces, which fits my gift idea. However, I cannot confirm it on Google. Does anyone know if this quote is from Sunday in the Park with George? And if so, where?" This is not a quote that's in the show. And what I don't understand about this is that they also used Google to try to confirm that the quote exists, when they literally could have just Googled quotes from the show. Sunday in the Park with George is my favorite piece of musical theater ever made. It is genius. It is about the struggle of being an artist, and about how originality is very, very hard to come by. Now, if you don't understand the irony in that, then I don't know what the fuck to tell you. But to give this person the benefit of the doubt, they said they know nothing about this show, which is totally fair. But then they go on to say, "I did see the show is on Apple TV, so I think I'll give it a watch anyway, but wanted to check with y'all. Thank you." You're making your friend a gift. You have the means to watch the thing that your friend likes, and you just choose to go with ChatGPT instead? What is going on? What is happening? You could have just Googled quotes. Look, I'm gonna Google quotes right now. I'm gonna Google Sunday in the Park with George quotes right now, and I bet you that I can find something immediately. Yeah, look at that. First option, Goodreads. Sunday in the Park with George quotes. "Work is what you do for others, Liebchen. Art is what you do for yourself. Anything you do, let it come from you, then it will be new. Give us more to see. Having just a vision's no solution. Everything depends on execution." All of these quotes from Sunday in the Park with George could literally be used as quotes against the idea of using AI to create art. But that doesn't stop people from using AI to specifically try to recreate who Stephen Sondheim was as a composer and lyricist. I also found this Reddit post. "I asked AI to write a Jerry Herman song in Stephen Sondheim style. I asked Bing Copilot AI to write new lyrics for Look What Happened to Mabel from Mac and Mabel by Jerry Herman in the style of Stephen Sondheim. Here's the cynical Sondheim version from AI." Now, if you look at these lyrics, there is nothing Sondheim about this at all. There are slant rhymes all over the place. Stephen Sondheim was a big proponent of never using slant rhymes in musical theater. From Sondheim's book, Finishing the Hat, a perfect rhyme snaps the word, and with it the thought, vigorously into place, rendering it easily intelligible. A near rhyme blunts it. In Stephen Sondheim's musical Assassins, he has this lyric talking about John Wilkes Booth. "How could you do it, Johnny, callin' it a cause? You left a legacy of butchery and treason we took eagerly and thought you'd get applause." And from A Little Night Music, "In view of her penchant for something romantic, Desadas too treacherous and Dickens too frantic, and Stanhope would ruin the plan of attack as there isn't much blue in the red and the black. De Maupassant's candor would cause her dismay, the Brontes are grander but not very gay, her taste is much blander, I'm sorry to say, but as Hans Christian Andersen ever risque, which eliminates That is Stephen Sondheim. Now compare that to this. Look what happened to Mabel. She used to sling hash and serve the beer. Now she's a glamorous starlet with a contract for $1 million a year. Straight up just not the same thing. I do not think I need to go into the technical details of lyric writing in order to show you that this is not how Sondheim writes at all. So the fact that someone would even try to pass this off as a Sondheim style is really stupid. Now, these simply are not the only uses for AI in musical theater. I have seen a lot of community theaters use AI art to create posters for their shows, which I'm not going to show any of. I do not want to attack community theaters. I just have one plea for you. Please stop. Please stop using AI for your posters for community theater. Just don't do it. It looks bad. It looks weird. And you are quite literally doing community theater, art as a community, and you are using AI to create part of that community art. That doesn't make any sense to me. I even have graphic designer friends who have made posters for community theaters, seen those exact community theaters use AI. It doesn't make any sense to me, and I'm asking you please to stop. There's also the idea of using AI to create thumbnails for your blog or YouTube page. A lot of people do it. It's really weird. They always look really bad, but there's one specific Broadway-oriented YouTube channel that will not stop using AI. I'm talking about the Broadway Maven on YouTube, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is because we have a very, very similar subscriber count, and I have interacted with this person on social media, and they have told me to shut the fuck up when I've told them to stop using AI. I want to make it very clear, do not go and attack this account at all. Please don't. He deserves to have his business and do whatever the fuck he wants with it. But I do think it's weird that somebody who uses AI for their musical theater related content was also given a panel at Broadway Con to speak about the art of lyric writing, specifically the art of Stephen Sondheim lyric writing. We just went over this. I don't think I have to explain why using AI specifically for Stephen Sondheim is weird. Take a look at this thumbnail about the musical Here We Are, which is the final musical that Stephen Sondheim wrote before he passed away. It was first performed off-Broadway last year, a few years after he passed away. I got to see Here We Are, and I am so grateful that I did. Little bit of a spoiler for Here We Are, a show that you're not able to see currently at all. But there is a part where somebody comes out in a bear costume, which is why it's a bear holding a piece of sheet music, and the sheet music is completely illegible. That's not music. That's just scribbles. That's what AI thinks music is. There's also this one of the Phantom of the Opera riding a roller coaster. This is in reference to the fact that there is now a virtual reality Phantom of the Opera musical roller coaster in Germany, which, that's a little fucking weird. Not as weird as using AI to put the Phantom of the Opera into a roller coaster that doesn't exist. Here we have a picture of a fake woman as Jenna from Waitress holding a pie. Why would you need to generate a fake woman dressed as Jenna from Waitress holding a pie when you could just use the picture of Sarah Bareilles or Betsy Wolfe or Jessie Mueller? There are so many actresses that have played Jenna who have taken pictures, but you decided to just have AI generate one? That's a little fucking weird, if you ask me. Don't even get me started on the falsettos thumbnail. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Come on, man. Come on. There's this one. It's a recycling bin with the words "Here We Are" barely on there and a bunch of music flying out of it or being dumped in it. But there's also like a really weird green cloud of smoke. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck this is. I mentioned Assassins earlier. Here's what he did for his Assassins thumbnail. Mind you, there are pictures of actors playing these fucking parts that you just could have used. You just could have used those pictures. But no, instead he said, generate a picture of a really fat John Hinckley Jr. holding a guitar. He could have even used a picture of actual John Hinckley Jr. It's a real person that existed, but no, we generated it through AI. There's this one, it's called Queer Sondheim. I'm assuming that's supposed to be Sweeney Todd from Sweeney Todd and Pseudolus from A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. Just use a picture of fucking Zira Mostel. What are we doing? I don't know what else to say other than there are actual pictures of these people performing the role, but you choose to just have something generate. I have nothing else to say about this, except look at these crazy thumbnails. So let's look at a few more. Why Fiddler on the Roof scores. And it's an AI picture of the wedding from Fiddler on the Roof. Here's a surprisingly jacked and chiseled Tony from West Side Story. Here's the thumbnail that he had AI generate when Richard Sherman died, who was a Disney composer. It's Winnie the Pooh and Tigger crying. I can guarantee you I can find a picture of Winnie the Pooh and Tigger crying right now. Boom. I just found like 6. It's just so weird to talk about art while stealing other people's art. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. Create something new, create something original, create something that people want to consume. Speaking of creating something new, my roommate brought to my attention very recently this Instagram account called It Could Be a Musical. 7,300 followers. It could be a musical. Could it be a musical? Should it be a musical? Original lyrics and photos plus AI. You know what that means? We are officially at the point where people are creating AI musicals. I feel like everything that I've said up to this point is a really good argument as to what are we doing? Are we just lazy now? Are we so lazy as a society that nobody actually wants to sit down and write real music, that we have to use AI to create lyrics and songs for people to listen to? Of course not. Of course that's not the case. There are thousands of people out there writing real music. As much as I don't like the "What should we watch on Peacock" ad, at least it's a real person who actually wrote a real song. This here is not that. Did you guys see Deadpool and Wolverine recently? Pretty good, right? It was a pretty good movie. I had a good time. Maybe not the best thing. Some people hated it. That's totally fine. I understand. But did you ever think, what if it was a musical? And what if that musical was created by using nothing but AI? Well, here's what that might look like.
Hey there, big guy. I see you're kind of mad. I've got good news, should make you pretty glad. Seems the world is ending, we're just not gonna win. No heroes in sight, that's where we come in. So flex those butt muscles, it's time that we hustle. Me and Wolverine, officially a team. Claws and swords, healing us once more. We're wild and free, Deadpool and Wolverine. Grab some chimichangas.
What the fuck are we doing? What is this? What is this? Let's start with the lyrics part. None of the words and none of the rhymes have anything specifically to do with Deadpool or Wolverine at all. Let's just get that out of the way. You can tell what words were inserted into the AI software that said you need to include this. Claws and swords, healing, maybe big muscles. It sounds like shit, right? Like, this isn't good. The worst part is that this garbage has been stuck in my fucking head for days on end, and I wanna die. The comments definitely have to be full of sane people, right? No. The comments are full of, can you do a Bug's Life? Over the Hedge. Doctor Who, Kung Fu Panda, the musical. Surely this isn't gonna be bad.
They call me Dragon Warrior. Yeah, it might be true. I'm gonna have to train to join this ninja crew. Put me through the test, I got no excuse. One thing I'll say, get ready to skadoosh. Cut a chop, belly flop, do a kick, make it quick, from the hip, do a flip, now you do Kung Fu!
They call me Dragon Warrior! Yeah, it might be true. It's the greatest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. That's incredible. That's A+, incredible. Over the Hedge, please. Why is Over the Hedge the popular pick? I don't understand.
Lightning flashes, thunder roars, but you're the one that I adore. Come on, darling, hold on tight. Together we'll make it through the night.
People are eating this shit up. This is slop. This is not good. Can somebody tell me honestly, am I ruining the fun? Is this fun for people? Do people actually like to engage with this content? It's one thing to think, oh, you know what would be really cool? If the movie There Will Be Blood was a musical, that would be really cool. That's one thing. Just having the idea is one thing. But to actually go out of your way, not even to put in the effort to write the whole thing yourself, but to say to an AI chatbot, write me a There Will Be Blood musical. I think I might be exaggerating. There's no way, there's absolutely no way that this account made a There Will Be Blood musical.
I've abandoned my boy, I've abandoned my child. I'm not a perfect father, but should I be reviled? Blood will be spilled faster than oil. They say to the victor go the spoils.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. People are in the comments of all of these like, oh my god, can I stream this? Is there any place I could stream a full version of this? Why would somebody take an AI song that they didn't write, based around an IP that they did not create and they do not have the rights for, and upload it somewhere for people to just stream? Why would somebody do that? I guess we have to ask the owner of this account, because they put all of their songs on fucking Spotify. So 1, you don't write the music. 2, you don't write the lyrics. 3, you don't generate the images that are used here. And 4, now you're gonna put it on Spotify to try to make money off of people? What the fuck is wrong with you? Do people just not have any respect for the artistic process anymore? Are people not willing to put in the work to actually create a new piece of art? Apparently not. Apparently AI musicals are good enough for some people. Well, I'll tell you, they're not good enough for me. In fact, I'll go even a step further. I think they are an absolute disgrace to people who actually sit down and try to create real art. People like Stephen Sondheim. I really hope that this is it. I hope that this is where it starts and this is where it ends, with thumbnails and stupid videos on TikTok and just one show using AI as their backdrop. Because if any professional show uses AI, you have completely lost not just my respect, but you have lost the respect of every single artist who is begging you to not do this. So please just stop. Maybe actually put some effort, try to do things instead of typing into ChatGPT to figure things out. Look up to see what quotes from musicals are. Don't just ask ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is gonna give you some bullshit like it's a puzzle, but it's a puzzle that's made up of a lot of beautiful pieces. All right, well, that's gonna be it for me today. If you like this video, don't forget to click like and subscribe if you think I should be nominated to be People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive for the year 2024. I also have the GoFundMe linked down in the... Any donation that's made to that GoFundMe means the world to me. You can also follow me on all of my social medias. They're linked down below. And keep an eye out for more information on my 24-hour Twitch stream coming up. If you like musical theater, I have a few other videos that are based around musical theater. You can check those out. If you don't like musical theater and for some reason you stuck around this long, first off, thank you for watching the video. And second off, I have a shit ton of other videos that are not related to musical theater. I'm Connor McDowell, and I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to write me a musical version of Seven Samurai. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.